During the 16-bit era, each console had their own flavor and personality. The TurboGrafx 16 was a shoot-'em-up powerhouse with bright, colorful games. The Sega Genesis was cool and defiant, and the Super Nintendo was family-friendly and for everyone. This had me thinking about what games for the Sega Genesis embodied its personality, uniqueness, and was essential to the Sega Genesis experience during the early 1990s. It's about that time again. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this retro-powered rewind. Chill out and relax with interstellar rappers, ToeJam and Earl, in this hip-hop adventure. This game is unlike any other. It's lots of fun and filled with tons of craziness. The thing I like about this game is you can play at your own pace, you can rush through each level, or explore the world to unlock every part of the map and find all the gifts that could be food, money, or power-ups, like super high tops or the Icarus wings. Some gifts have a question mark and are a gamble to open, because these gifts could also be a trap and deplete your energy. I always like the graphics because of its cartoonish look and feel, and there are plenty of crazy, wacky characters everywhere. The goal for each stage is to find the pieces of your ship so you can head back home that were scattered about after you crash landed. The simplicity of this game makes it lots of fun. If you don't feel like having a stressful gaming experience, then ToeJam and Earl is the game. It was a standout title in the early days of the Sega Genesis and is great for every and any type of gamer, regardless of skill or experience. This is truly a classic, and I highly recommend it. If I were to rank genres of games, I would have to say driving games are my least favorite, or at least top 2 least favorite. The only games I enjoy driving in are the GTA games and, of course, Road Rash. I remember playing it for the first time and instantly loved it. Perhaps it was the motorcycles, or it could have been the mayhem that ensues when you get chased by the cops, the ability to attack your opponents with punches, kicks, and weapons. The game is fast, and you'll need some quick reflexes if you want to stay on the road. Not only do you have to worry about traffic, but you also have to contend with animals, rivals, and of course, the cops trying to arrest you. There are many different bike types and sizes you can choose from. You can have regular street bikes, but as you keep winning and earning more money, you can upgrade by purchasing larger, more powerful, and faster bikes. To save time, I just put the code in and get the top secret technology motorcycle that is crazy fast. This bike is so fast, when you hit an obstacle, your driver hilariously gets launched airborne and seems to fly endlessly. When you finally land, you have one long trek to get back to your bike. It takes forever. If you mess your bike up too much, your bike will be totaled and the race is over. As you progress through each track, the twists and turns become faster and more challenging. Because of this increased challenge, the replayability is definitely there, and you'll spend hours and hours trying to get first place. There are humorous cutscenes throughout, regardless if you win or lose the race. The music is good, not great, but when I hear it, I'm reminded of the early 90s Genesis sounds, and it always brings a smile to my face. As stated earlier, I can't stand racing games at all. However, Road Rash is nothing but fun and such a great time that I'm a fan of this franchise. Well, part 1 and 2. Kid Chameleon seems to be eerily in tune with the modern day. The ideas in this game aren't quite science fiction anymore as they were in 1992. The story is about an arcade game that creates alternate realities with holograms, but the main enemy escapes and causes ruckus by kidnapping the kids that were defeated in the virtual game world. Sure, we're not yet close to that happening, but VR and holographic technology is real. To be honest, I'm not sure why the military or secret organizations aren't fighting this threat, but instead, the best option available is a child named Kid Chameleon, the king of the arcade. This kid somehow is the master of the virtual world and is our only hope. He has the ability to traverse this new dimension by transforming into different characters to help navigate the different stages and terrain. My favorite characters he transforms into is the Samurai, of course, and Jason Voorhees. Well, it's not Jason. There's no machete in hand, but the similarities are all there. This game is a lot of fun, and that has to do with the level design. The levels are not linear, but you can explore them in many different ways. During each stage, you can find warps to other places and stages, or simply navigate the stage you're on and find the flag at the end of the level. There is a good amount to explore, which creates replayability. Depending on your transformation, there will be other paths you can choose from. There are over a dozen characters to become, and over 100 levels to explore. The graphics, sound, and controls are mostly good. They're not the greatest, but also nothing to complain about either. Because there are so many levels to explore, the challenge is definitely there, and you get your money's worth with this unique title. I always enjoyed Kid Chameleon because there aren't many games like it on any console, especially in 1992. If you're looking for something different that you can sink hours and hours of time into with a good challenge and interesting characters, well, Kid Chameleon is definitely for you. During Christmas break of 1992, I went to my friend Chris's house and played Streets of Rage 2 for the first time, and it was simply astonishing how much better it looked and played than the first game. I didn't think a game could get that much better, but I was wrong. I love the first Streets of Rage, and I'm not taking anything away from that, but this sequel is in its own league. In the 30 plus years it has been out, I always have a great time playing it and never ever felt bored. It's a masterpiece. If there was a video game draft for all-time games and I had the first pick, I might just pick this title. There are 4 different characters to choose, each unique in their own way. Max the wrestler, Axel, the series MVP, Blaze, the always amazing lady, and Skate, the fast and dangerous younger brother of fan favorite Adam. Each character has new moves at their disposal. You have a standing still super move and a super move as you press forward. Axel's is my favorite. He hits you with a 20 piece. Each character also has a new powerful attack that doesn't take any strength. Simply press forward and the attack button. These are the best moves because they are powerful and the most versatile. The environment and stages look phenomenal, and I'm always impressed whenever I see them. The opening stage is one of the most iconic stages ever to me. My favorite stage in the game is the theme park that looks like Disney World. The gameplay is as good as it gets. The controls are easy to learn. There's no lag or anything with the inputs. I wish every beat 'em up was this precise. Just like in Streets of Rage 1, the soundtrack is amazing. Yuzo Koshiro is a magnificent maestro and created one of the best OSTs ever in the history of gaming. Even if you're not a fan of techno-ish music, I guarantee you there's at least a handful of tunes you'll love. If you haven't played this masterpiece, play it, because in my humble opinion, it's definitely the best beat 'em up ever and an all-time great title. Streets of Rage 2 is the game to play on the Sega Genesis. Alright, let's take a quick survey. Do you like ninjas? I know, that's a silly question, because the answer is of course you do. Who doesn't? Joe Musashi is back and better than ever. Every Shinobi game has been great, but I would say this is probably the best out of all the titles in the Sega library. The graphics in this installment are amazing. One of my favorite aspects is the backgrounds. They are pure, layered goodness in each and every stage. The artwork is phenomenal, not only in the environment, but also in the character design. Every character in the game looks incredible, especially the bosses. You can tell the team that created this spared no expenses in the details. Shinobi gets nothing but props from me. The sound is terrific, and the music fits the atmosphere and sets the tone of each stage perfectly. All of the classic Shinobi sound effects are here from years past, but sound updated. The controls are precise, especially if you're playing with the 6-button controller. Joe has a new dash move that helps you blitz opponents and escape danger. When he is sprinting, it looks great, and running up on your enemies and slashing them never gets old. With this newly added dash, it creates a great strategy to save on shurikens because you'll definitely need them during most boss battles. All of your magic is back from previous games, and it's always satisfying to annihilate every on-screen foe with pillars of fire. Shinobi 3 is one of the definitive titles in the Sega Genesis library and one of the best of the 16-bit generation, but if you are new to it, please play it. The games on this list represent the Sega Genesis flavor to a T. ToeJam and Earl was cool, and Sega knew the hip-hop genre was exactly that, the coolest. Road Rash was fast and edgy, representing blast processing. Kid Chameleon had attitude that wasn't afraid and didn't back down from a monumental challenge, like taking on Nintendo. Streets of Rage 2 was loud, fierce, and simply the best, just like the Genesis during these years. Shinobi has always been a representative of Sega. Ninjas are mythical assassins, and just like them, the Genesis was killing its competition. Not to mention, the system itself looks like a ninja machine. Each console during this generation brought their own flavor to the table. They were all great in their own right and made this time period something legendary and enduring. What a time it was to experience this generation of gaming. As always, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Retro Powered Gaming.